I'm Eulalio Magaña.
And I'm Josh Cruz, otherwise known as the Fataku, and this is All Things Film. And today we decided that we would just go off and, well, make up a segment because a certain editor couldn't tell us what exactly we were supposed to do. So, what we have here are the movies that inspired us the most.
We're gonna have 3 movies that affected our lives, different periods of our lives. So I'll start off. Growing up, I'm Mexican, we're Mexican. You're Mexican, right? I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Growing up, we had this Mexican actor named Cantinflas. He had a lot of different movies, black and white movies. He's a big comedian in Mexico. So his gimmick was that he always was poor. He'd always have sagging pants that always fall off. He was the inventor of saggy pants. He was always the poor guy in the town, but somehow he came to the rescue. He always was the ladies' man. All the ladies liked him. He was like Bugs Bunny before Bugs Bunny. He would get out of trouble by talking circles around people and get out of trouble and get stuff done. So that kind of influenced me. So I always found out if you don't have any money, if you're poor, as long as you're funny, charming, you could get ladies. And as long as you could talk around circles, people, you could get away with not paying bills and getting away from getting arrested and stuff like that, which has actually helped me out in real life. For Cantinflas movies, all of them.
Hashtag life goals. Hashtag, what's it called?
Hashtag, I don't think they had hashtag doing Cantinflas movies, so hashtag old movies. Hashtag Cantinflas.
Role models.
Let's hashtag Cantinflas and bring them back from the dead, guys.
What inspired me a lot, and more so only because at the time I was going to film school, and that was Citizen Kane. And that movie was fascinating. I didn't get most of it because I was like 15 at the time, but it was cool. It was more of a movie that was based off on the different point of views that people have about somebody. Nowadays we have that simple premise about how we can go about that movie to the point where it's bled out. But why does that matter? It's something that inspired me because of just how amazing it was. It was the movie that made me open up more so to black and white movies. How great storytelling should not ever be limited to just whatever constraints are there at the time. And for me, I want to learn how to direct, so that was cool. Especially because this is a movie where it's literally just based off of one person's perspective to another. Essentially following where, if anyone's even seen it or been spoiled by Family Guy, the moment of which one man by the name of Kane falls ill, dies, says Rosebud, and everybody wants to know what exactly that particular word held its meaning to. And all you have are conflicting stories where everybody says he's a hero, others say he was a monopoly man of a newspaper ring that he owned, other people said he was a charmer, other people said he was a ladies' man, a manipulator. And I enjoy just going through that story and seeing everybody else's opinions on that, only because people only want to believe what they want to believe, sometimes see only what they want to see, and there is such an amazing irony Hallmark card rating at the end of that movie. It is great. But yeah, I'll stop with that.
Yeah, it sounds like a great movie. I think I should watch it one day, maybe. That's the kind of movie that you only, like, if you don't watch it, you hear more about it in the parodies like Family Guy.
So watch it before it's more spoiled. Do it now, immediately. Yes. Find it anywhere. Hulu it if you can.
Do it. My other movie that I watched, kind of like talking about black and white movies, was Young Frankenstein, about Mel Brooks, a great comedy. I was back in when I was in college. I went with my roommates. It was they were all partiers. I was kind of more of a loner guy, and I rented. Remember renting movies, guys? Go and get a DVD and renting movies.
Hashtag I miss Blockbusters.
I make Blockbuster too. So I rented the movie, and they show up and they bring some girls over to the house and some beer, and they're like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Young Frankenstein." And they see it, they're watching it, like, "This is stupid. This movie is for smart people." I'm like, and that's bad?
Because there's layers of references in there, and that makes it so entertaining. But to say that it's only limited to one group, if it's able to appeal to anyone from any broad perspective or background, it doesn't matter. That just proves how hilarious it is. And oh my gosh, the N-word references on it too. Mel Brooks, you're amazing. Oh my gosh.
I enjoyed it because it made me feel like I was on the right track. Like, maybe I should not party with these guys and just stick to more Mel Brooks movies, which I did. My favorite scene in the movie was werewolf, like we're over there, and that kind of really hit my clever sense of humor, and that kind of taught me to just stick to my sense of humor and not try to change myself to get along with everybody. If I like Mel Brooks movies and people don't, then I shouldn't be their friends.
Another movie, sorry to get more on the serious side, but like I enjoyed this movie called Brick. It came out back in 2005 with Shawshank Levitt, and outside of it having probably some serious audio problems, I had to crank that thing up super high, and subtitle version was Best Girl. But yeah, it's essentially a movie of what has a character by the name of Brendan trying to figure out what happened to his girlfriend when she is found dead. Essentially got right in the middle of all of these issues with drugs. And why that at least matters most to me at that point is I was going through a lot of emotional baggage at the time, and sometimes despite what you want to do to save or help someone, you gotta understand when somebody's just toxic for you. And at that time there was somebody who straight up was that for me, and I shouldn't be worried about fixing their problems. Let alone it's cool to just see how this movie goes back and forth, and the fact that it has this nice noir feel to it for what is using just a high school, and it's just like messing around with it. Like some of the jocks are the drug dealers. You have some of the people that are part of like the emo scene that also work into that perspective too. There's this kid who they make a reference with it between the relationship of Sherlock Holmes and Watson. This kid is named Brain. He happens to know everything about everyone. I'd say definitely give that one a check out. It's nice.
Yeah, it sounds like my high school, except for everybody was a drug dealer, not just the jock. And speaking of emotional baggage, I have plenty. I have a whole bus just for my baggage, emotional baggage. Growing up, in my late 20s, all by myself, I was kind of introverted. I didn't really know where to fit in. I was very in my head. And I watched this movie called Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. They're really kind of like his inner monologue and his kind of like downward spiral into like one of the vigilante and kind of like changing his life. And I kind of saw a very parallel comparison with me and him. I was also in a little apartment by myself, not really going out. And the scene that stuck out to me, there's a whole movie everybody talks about the no, are you talking to me scene, the push-up scene, the getting shot. Everybody talks about everything else, but nobody talks about this little scene, which really hit me personally. When we was watching the TV, black and white TV, and watching people dance, right? And he just sitting back and lightly touching it with his foot, and then eventually just knocks over the TV and breaks it. That was kind of like him, like I just want to be part of that. I just want to be part of people just simply going out and dancing with people. Just going out and doing something. Kind of like I don't have he didn't have the hope to go and do it. He's not going to ever go do that. So I kind of told myself, I don't want to be stuck at that, like never breaking that wall of me here and people out there doing something. So I did therapy, I went out. I read self-help books, I started chit-chatting with people, and eventually, I became the social butterfly that I am today.
It's not my third movie, but it reminds me a lot of this other movie, transportation-wise, Bicycle Thief. A guy buys a bicycle to support himself better. He's ranking on everything on this bike to get him through because he wants to live the big life for his family at the time. But unfortunately, it gets stolen, and he goes through like an entire movie trying to get. It's just one of those harsh, in-your-face movies that crushes your dreams, but it meant more to like talk about just the reality in a situation, and that's tough. But for like my third, the one that I enjoy is the Shawshank Redemption. And that movie, I just didn't know what I wanted to do at the time, but when I saw the way that the main character went about, used his smarts with accounting in order to get into the underground of the corruption within the prison that he worked in, it was cool to see him make his own personal little heaven there, and the way in which, even though it's controlled by forces at bay that are just on him the entire time, and at the same time it's one of those things where he was there for a crime he may or may not have committed. It's also just open to interpretation there. And what he does to escape this is literally go through the most obscene, disgusting methods just to get his own freedom. I'd spoil, maybe it's already seen there, but I feel that's just a great literal and figurative way of trying to rescue or redeem yourself from what was just a lifestyle that went absolutely nowhere, and it got you into a point that was far beyond your control. And that's what's really cool, is seeing stories where you can go from having nothing or having everything ripped away from you and taking it back from it.
Yeah, and as a guy who's been to jail before, real life jail is never as nice in the movies. I didn't have a Morgan Freeman type character give me advice. I had crackheads that would beat me at chess.
Because that's exactly what I got out of the movie. I was like, it didn't matter if I went to jail or not. I'm gonna have Morgan Freeman there to narrate my entire life story. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so those are our thoughts. Are there any movies that you found inspired you in any particular way? And it doesn't matter how it might go, because, I mean, half the time I was trying to see, and a lot of the superhero movies I really enjoy, they've kind of inspired me in different ways I've come about too. Primarily the fact that we can make bad movie genres good again. But yeah, so feel free to share in the comment section below, and do remember to like, share, and subscribe to Wasp Nest videos. Thank you everybody, have a good one, and we'll see you next time.